If I wanted to have an easy job working with the big protection of what I already have done before, I would have stayed at Porto. Beautiful blue chair, the UEFA Champions League trophy, God, and after God, me. This was a quote from Jose Mourinho, one of the most influential football coaches of the last generation. Mourinho brought glory to the small Portuguese coastal city of Porto by leading the club to winning the UEFA Champions League for only the second time in its history in 2004. And as we can see from the quote, it was a massive deal for both the club and the people of Porto. Why is winning the UEFA Champions League such a big deal in European football? And is it fair that it can have such an outsized impact on the fortunes of football clubs, the players, and the coaches who win this trophy? Stay tuned as we explore both the football heritage, but also the reasons behind the economic importance of the Champions League. The UEFA Champions League was founded in 1955 and was initially known as the European Cup until the competition was rebranded in 1992. At the beginning, the tournament was open to only the winners of Europe's leading domestic leagues in different countries, who played each other in a straight knockout format to determine the best club in European football in that season. The format was changed in 1991, when more teams from a number of European countries started being allowed into the competition, besides only the domestic champions. The current setup includes 32 teams allocated into 8 groups, with each team playing the 3 other teams in its group twice, at home and away, in order to determine the winner and the runner-up within each group. The winners and the runner-ups then progress into double-legged out rounds, including the round of 16, the quarterfinal, and the semifinal. Unlike the previous knockout rounds, the final only has one match, which is played at a neutral venue, so as to not provide an unfair home field advantage to any of the competing sides. It is often said that the UEFA Champions League is the most prestigious competition in club football in Europe, and one of the most competitive football tournaments in the world. To date, there have been a total of only 22 winners across the 67 editions of the UEFA Champions League, or the European Cup. Between 1955 and 2022, 37 of those seasons were held under the European Cup branding and format, and 30 under the new UEFA Champions League arrangement. Real Madrid of Spain is the club that has won the most UEFA Champions League titles over the years, with a total of 14 wins to their name. This result is extremely impressive, as Real Madrid have registered twice as many wins as the next most successful club, AC Milan of Italy, with their 7 wins in the competition. 4 other clubs can be described as serial winners of the Champions League, including Bayern Munich of Germany with their 6 wins, England's Liverpool, also with their 6 titles, Barcelona of Spain with their 5, and Ajax of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, with their 4. Together, these top 6 sides have lifted the trophy a whopping 42 times out of the 67 possible seasons, or over 60% of the time. There is also a longer list of other winners, which includes a total of 16 clubs, including 3 from England, 2 each from Italy, Germany, Portugal, and the Netherlands, and a club each from Scotland, Romania, Serbia, and France. Interestingly, some of the most expensive football brands in the world, including Manchester United and Chelsea of England, have only managed to win the UEFA Champions League a grand total of 3 and 2 times respectively. Furthermore, some other major European clubs, such as Manchester City of England and Paris Saint-Germain of France, have never managed to win the title as of the time of this video. However, in addition to all of the historical context, prestige, and competitive pedigree, the thing that makes the UEFA Champions League so extremely important in modern-day European club football is money. It is no secret that winning the Champions League today leads to a significant monetary inflow for a typical European club, thanks to the tournament's lucrative prize fund and broadcast and sponsorship income allocations. As an example, as part of the arrangement for the European football season that started in the fall of 2020 and finished in the spring of 2021, the winner of the UEFA Champions League, England's Chelsea Football Club, received around €120 million from its successful run in the competition. Of that, around half, or €65 million, came from performance-based compensation throughout the tournament. The remainder, around €55 million, came from non-performance-based income allocations, including the starting fee, coefficient-based payment, and market pool income. These amounts of money are significant even for top clubs competing in major European domestic leagues, As an example, the winner of the English Premier League stands to earn somewhere on the order of £200 million across both the merit-based and the base payment for participating in the league. Similarly, winners of the Italian, Spanish, German, and French domestic leagues are looking at comparable amounts for doing well in their respective competitions. You can see how adding in the money for winning the UEFA Champions League can increase those domestic revenues by a sizable percentage. However, direct prize money is only part of the story behind the Champions League's economic importance in European football. Winning the title also helps the clubs in indirect ways. For starters, it raises the level of passion and interest in the winning club across its fan base, both the people who go and watch the games in its stadiums, but also the international fans who follow the club's journey remotely through TV and streaming. Higher viewership and engagement with the club's brand, in turn, lead to more interest from potential sponsors and advertising partners. It also becomes easier to attract top coaching, playing, and management staff to the club, which raise the club's competitiveness in future seasons. You can see how winning the UEFA Champions League can quickly turn into a virtuous cycle, particularly for the clubs that are able to go far in the competition year after year. And you don't even need to win the tournament per se in order to supplement your domestic league income with sizable Champions League money. As an example, the 2021 finalist Manchester City of England earned a total of around €119 million from the competition that year, only $1 million less than the winners. Semi-finalists Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain were also treated to around €110 million each, while teams reaching the quarter-final stage were eligible for total payments of between $74 and $93 million per team. It should be noted that the Champions League is a major moneymaker not only for participating clubs, but also for UEFA itself, the European football body that organizes it. At its core, UEFA is a pan-European federation that is set up by its member countries in order to govern their joint affairs when it comes to international football. It is similar to how the NFL, the NBA, or the NHL are set up in North America in order to create governance and oversight over league activities for their respective sports. By way of an oversimplified explanation, UEFA is tasked with organizing European-wide football competitions, making sure that they make money through TV rights, advertising, sponsorship, and ticket sales, distributing most of the income among the participating teams, and reinvesting the remainder into funding football development activities across the continent. As with many businesses, UEFA has a range of products, of which two are particular blockbusters, including the Euros, a competition to determine the strongest team in Europe held every 4 years, and the Champions League. If you looked at the split of UEFA's revenue over the most recent 4-year period that included the Euros, you'd notice that club competitions, of which the Champions League is the biggest contributor, amounted to around €11.6 billion, or roughly 3/4 of the overall inflows. And while the 2021 Euros might have generated over €2 billion by itself, the fact that the Champions League is held every year rather than only once in a 4-year cycle makes it a clear leader when it comes to UEFA's tournament lineup. In conclusion, you can see why the UEFA Champions League has become such a dominant football competition in Europe in modern times. Doing well in the tournament can make a substantial contribution to operating budgets of even the biggest football clubs on the continent, let alone the smaller sides that come from outside of Europe's most competitive domestic leagues. And as we saw from the quote from Jose Mourinho at the beginning, winning the tournament can quite literally transform careers of both the coaches and the players who manage to reach this incredible level of achievement in their lifetimes. And it looks like the competition is going to evolve further in the next few years, with the format being expanded from 32 to 36 participating teams starting in 2024, and replacing the group stage with a Swiss system, similar to the one used in chess. The ultimate result of the expansion is that the total number of matches would go up from 125 games today to 189 games under the new system. All of this would only increase the economic attractiveness and prestige of the Champions League further, and help more European teams earn additional income from participating in the tournament, which is always a good thing nowadays, from both a business and ultimately a sporting perspective for everyone involved.